Okay, we're wrapping up 5 weeks here in Serbia. Do I recommend Serbia as a travel destination? Watch the video and find out. Okay, welcome to Belgrade. We flew into Belgrade. And our first night there, we ate at Mihail's restaurant. That was some weird ball stuff that my wife ordered, and there's some weird stuff that my wife ordered. There's a shopska salad, and right in front of it, I had the veal cutlets. Everything was excellent. I'll leave a link. This is Kiflica. It's at Baba Vishnu. Right there is the name. I'm also going to leave a link to that. Yummy, yummy little pastries. I recommend the breakfast pastries. The other stuff were kind of weird. This is me climbing up a 300-meter thing, and then there's me calling somebody. Of course, I didn't get a phone call. We went to the Kalemegdan. That's where we went to, and those are other pictures. Kalemegdan dates back to, it's a fortress, the Belgrade Fortress, dates back to Roman times. And they've used it ever since then. They've used it during the Ottoman domination, when they repelled the Ottomans and whatnot. So a lot of that stuff was, not from Roman times. There's me hanging out, and then here's some good wine. This is actually, I'm going to leave a link to it. This is some good Serbian wine. Here's another good Serbian. So that first one was called Prokupac wine. I think I'm probably really not doing justice to the name. But the funny thing is that it was almost extinct, and then they found it in some lady's garden back during the Yugoslav times after the Second War, and they resurrected the grape. Here's Ivan, my dear, dear friend, with his son, and then we've got another picture there for everybody that we visited in his hometown, Zrenjanin. And then we're going to come up here and see a video of the Sava River. We were cruising along on the Sava River with his sister and her husband, going to visit their houseboat. So these are literally pontoons or rafts with houses built on top of them. They had theirs in some island on the Sava River. It was pretty cool. We had a lot of fun. There's a brief shot of us walking around the beach on the Sava River. It was a really hot day. It was like 100 degrees. And then here's a shot of the public transportation. So all the public transportation in Belgrade is free. They did that in 2025 to alleviate the traffic and the smog, all that jazz. We did take a bus, the Petrovaradin from Serbia, from Belgrade to Petrovaradin. The funny thing, is that you can't go all the way to Novi Sad, which is where we were going. You have to go to Petrovaradin because the train station in Novi Sad collapsed, killed 16 people, and there's a whole bunch of politics and resistance for the establishment. The young people are really against them. So we did get off at Petrovaradin. The good thing is that we didn't go all the way into Novi Sad, so it's not the greatest thing. But the nice thing is that we get to see the Petrovaradin Fortress, again, another fortress. Cool thing about this place is that there are remains that date back to 19,000 BC. So this is a fortress or a place that's been in existence and used for literally tens of thousands of years. So that was kind of neat. Some of what I'm showing here, or most of what I'm showing here, I'm sure was probably 16th, 17th century, which is when it was built. A lot of the stuff that on top of the existing ruins. So you get to see some of that. I was just playing around with my camera to see what I could do with it. here's, again, the Petrovaradin up on the top. When we got to the top, all the people got the locks to show that their love is unbreakable or unlockable. And who knows about all these people if they're still all together. I hope they are. You know what? I really, truly do hope that they are, because everybody deserves to be happy. Here's another little spot where we were walking along, some weird, thing in the fortress area. Not sure what it was. I thought it was kind of cool, so I just videoed it. I was playing with the camera, playing with the Osmo and stuff, so you get to see some weird gate that I have now. We got to Novi Sad. This is Emma Smith, and that is her piano player, who's got the most expensive fingers in all of England, allegedly. I'll leave a link for Emma Smith in the video section down below. Hope you like this. It was really cool. We got to see her. We got to see a bunch of other jazz that night. It was a good time to go to Novi Sad. We really lucked out getting there. Spent the night there, right down by the square. So then we went to Zrenjanin at one point. I know that I'm mutilating the name again. Here's some pictures. This is where my dear friend Ivan lives. So we got to go in and take some really cool pictures in their museum. We had a lot of fun walking around there for a couple of days, getting to know the people that he knows, the people that you meet in your neighborhood, and also getting to meet his 87-year-old mother. God bless her. So we had a good time seeing where my dear friend Ivan, who I met in the United States 25 years ago, probably 30 years ago. This is Puto, I think that's his name. Apparently he, lost his job at some point, and now he just spends his days down in the square downtown, Zrenjanin, playing guitar, right? He's a really super cool guy. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. This is our trip to the Tara National Park. It was a couple-hour drive from Belgrade, where we stayed. This is the house on the rock, like literally a house that was built on the rock. It was built in like 1968 the first time, I think, and then it drifted away when it got flooded, and then they've since kind of fixed it so that it doesn't drift away during the floods, and they just open it up so that the water goes right through the house. This is at the top of one of the mountains that we hiked, or actually we drove up most of the way, and then we hiked a little bit. You can see my wife there. And then this is some pictures of us wrapping up in Tara National Park. So, Serbia, if you're in the Balkans, you really do have to visit Serbia because it's part of the whole Balkan history. There is this mass exodus that's happening, not just in Serbia, but in other countries in the Balkan region. People are just leaving that area, and it's kind of sad. So that's a wrap. If you guys are in the Balkans, you really got to visit Serbia as part of the history and part of the whole experience. Other thing about Serbia that I do want to say is that if you're interested in history, I would encourage you to go and take a look and do some digging about what happened in the late 20th century with regards to the NATO bombings on Belgrade and the rest of the country. Remember that history is written by the victors. And one of the things that I'd encourage you to ask yourself as you're digging into that history, if you're so inclined, why was it so important for NATO to break up and divide that country? Why did they do that? Okay, guys, love you. See you in the next video.